Yo, welcome to Juiced Up the Hard Way. I'm going to call this episode 1 today since we're running it back. I'm one of the hosts. I'm Jake Juiced Up Accardo. Joining us is B. Livity from 3 The Hard Way podcast. How we doing, B. Livity?
What's good?
You doing
What's
good?
What's good, man? I'm doing good, man. Happy holidays, bro.
Happy holidays, everybody. That's what's up. So basically, we had a good show last week, so we're going to run it back this week. First topic we'll take care of is going to be NFL recap preview. We're going to do the college football playoff. We're going to recap the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, glorified sparring match. And then actually we're going to do a little special. We're going to talk about this show Landman on Paramount Plus that we're both watching right now. We like it a lot. And then at the end of the show, we're going to give you our top 5 Christmas movies in our opinion. So starting off, like I said, we're going to do NFL recap and preview. Last week we had the Packers at the Bears. They lost 22-16. Rams ended up losing to the Seahawks, being up by 16 points in the fourth quarter, losing on a 2-point conversion. They lost 38-37. Panthers got the better of the Bucks, 23-20. Now they're 1 game up in the division, coming down to the last 2 games. And unfortunately, the Jaguars beat the Broncos. That was a good game. Broncos showed a lot of fight, a lot of heart. Just couldn't score enough points for that one. And then the last game was also Chargers versus Cowboys. Wasn't a big game, but at the end of the day, with the Colts and Niners losing, we got the Broncos, Bills, and Chargers all clinched a spot. So everyone's kind of just jockeying for position now. And that was our games from last week. What game did you like the most last week? Aside from having to watch the Denver game, what other games were you interested in, B. Livity?
Actually, what's crazy? The Bears and the Packers game was one that interested me, and then I thought it was completely over. Like I started nodding off.
Yeah.
And I wake up, it's overtime, and these fools won it. I'm like, what the hell, man? I thought it was all but done for.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Seahawks game. Crazy.
Yeah.
Both games, I thought they were done for.
Exactly. I was already under the assumption we were filming, like, oh yeah, Rams had it in the bag, and I woke up the next day, I was like, oh, game of the year type stuff. So that was a pretty wild game. And so watching your Broncos now the last couple of weeks, how are you feeling, and what do you guys might need to adjust, with these next 2 games coming in to close out the division?
So this is the crazy part, man. We had a good game offensively. Bo Nix threw for 300 plus. We ran for 100 yards, but our defense failed us for the first time in the season, I could say. They gave up 4 red zone touchdowns, which is something they haven't done all year. They're usually good at stopping in the red zone. 5-yard plays were turning into fucking 60-yard plays because they were missing tackles everywhere. Hafungo is nowhere to be found.
He was
so it was disappointing, man. Yeah, it was right. Riley Moss. Come on, man. If it's not pass interferences, now you're missing tackles too. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
Parker Washington was able to make a couple inside cuts on some routes. And then, like that one play, Fungo missed the tackle. That was definitely unlikely of them. And now if the Chargers are able to pull it out against the Texans, now that last game of the year is actually going to be meaningful. It's going to be for the division and obviously a home playoff game. So if the Chargers can pull it out against the Texans, last year they blew us out in the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. But it's looking pretty good this last week. Hopefully, this pans out. It's exciting. Last 2 games, it's always. What's that?
I got faith, man. It's like you said, it's going to come down to the last week. Chiefs are on their 3rd string quarterback, so I think we'll have this game on Christmas handily. It's going to come down to that final game. We're still in the first number 1 seed in the division right now, and it's better to lose now than in the playoffs. So, we got that taste in our mouths, and we can correct the things that happened against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's always some good humble pie, especially I'm always a believer when your team's on a 10-game winning streak. Lose now instead of first round of the playoffs. Get it out the way, take that L, and it's kind of better for just for your own mindset type of thing. So talking about the Christmas games, let's go into that now. Before the season started, these games looked like they could be pretty good, but ended up a lot of these teams they're not as good as we thought they were going to be. We got the Cowboys at Commanders, Lions at Vikings. I think McCarthy's out that game, so they got their backup in. And then the Broncos at the Chiefs. And like you were just saying, they're banged up. They're on their 3rd string quarterback. So those are our Christmas games. They don't look good now, in hindsight. But Do you think the Lions Vikings could be a good game? I mean, out of those three, which one are you thinking will be the better game out of them?
I like watching Detroit's offense. I
Yeah,
love they got a lot of Bama players as far as Jameson Williams and Jamar Gibbs, Amon St. Brown. Like I like watching their offense. I just think they've had some terrible play calling this year, especially with the head coach taking over play calling duties and him
yeah.
going on fourth down has kicked them in the butt a lot of
Oh,
times this
yeah.
year.
I
But
agree.
I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching their offense. So I'll probably watch that game as well as the Denver game. When
Yeah.
it comes to the Cowboys and Commanders, yeah, that one's probably a no go for me.
Maybe catch an NBA game. And that's what's crazy. Like these last 2 years with the NFL schedule falling where it fell, it's kind of overtaken NBA on Christmas Day in a way because it was always kind of like an unwritten rule. Like football had Thanksgiving, NBA had Christmas, but now NBA or NFL is kind of poaching into that territory. So I don't really watch too much basketball on Christmas with these last couple seasons. Are you going to catch any of the basketball games or anything?
I'm not sure who's playing, but the general rule has always been that basketball season doesn't start till after Christmas.
That's
So
true
I mean,
too. Yeah,
football season pretty much dominates until the All Star break for NBA, and that's when things get real in the NBA. So
that's
I
true.
mean, that's
That's
pretty
true.
much how I played it.
Yeah, and I will be diving into some NBA, like you said, once football's over. But yeah, football is definitely king right now. And then, so those are the Christmas games. The Saturday games, we got the Texans at the Chargers, and then Ravens at Packers, which is basically the Ravens. I mean, their season's pretty much done, but that will basically put the nail in the coffin. I think the Packers backup is going that game, Willis, but he's actually a pretty good talent. Who do you think's going to win that Ravens Packers game?
I mean, I think Lamar Jackson is going to be out. He went out last game with a back injury.
It's a
So if
bruise.
he's
It's
not
a bruise.
playing,
Yeah, he had a back bruise,
yeah. So we'll see.
a
Um,
contusion.
I like Hunley, but I mean, like that. Yeah, the Ravens are done for. Like just their game last week with the play calling. I'm not sure what their identity is because I mean you're paying Derrick Henry all this money and he actually went off. Last game and
Yeah,
to not give him the ball in the fourth quarter after
yeah,
he scored a touchdown was
right.
ridiculous. To give up that lead.
Yeah.
Um,
So you think it was a
so I
clock
mean, as
management
long as
thing?
they
They could have managed the
no, it
clock.
wasn't even that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that was part of it, but I mean to go with your cold guy instead of the guy that's been hot,
Yeah.
that makes no sense, especially
Yeah.
when he's a big back. So I mean, I kind of got the Packers in this one. I'm not sure what's
Yeah.
going on with Jordan Love. Didn't know that he wasn't going to play
I
this
think he
week.
got concussed, if I believe. So I'm pretty sure it could be Willis, but we could always check back on that one. And then we got the Eagle.
Okay,
Yeah, we got the Eagles at the Bills, and then the Bears at the Niners. And the Bears, they could win this division, which is pretty crazy, being it's Caleb Williams and the coach's first year. But Eagles at Bills, it's going to be a cold one, probably rainy, maybe a little bit of snow. You think the Eagles are playing for anything right now? Now that they got the division clinched up, or you think they're going to be? You think they're going to go 100%?
I think they need like a big victory under their belt. I think that they need like a big. They haven't had one of those big victories this year. They
Right.
lost to the Broncos, they lost to the Chargers. Um, I think they need one under their belt to be like, okay, let's go into the playoffs with some momentum. Like we could beat one of
Yeah.
these big teams and a potential Super Bowl contender. So I
Exactly.
think the Eagles are going to go in and play hard, like it's a real game.
Okay.
Even though with 2 weeks left, I think they're going to go in.
All right. And then the Bears at the Niners. Niners are coming off their victory on Monday against the Colts. The Niners have put up a lot of points. Not against the best defenses, but Brock Purdy's out there slinging the rock. The Bears are the Bears. These guys got the biggest horseshoe up their ass. They get so many lucky wins this year. I swear to God. But the horseshoe is very big up their ass right now. So Bears at Niners. This one, the Niners already clinched. Seahawks and Rams did. So this is kind of more. This is the Niners actually going for the division and maybe a top seed in the NFC. So who do you like in this game? Bears at Niners.
I liked what I saw from the 49ers, last night, man. That offense was clicking. I kind of want to go with the Niners in this one. I mean, I
Okay.
like what the Bears are doing, but it's like you said, it's too much last second and too many heroics. And I
Yeah.
mean, I can't trust Caleb Williams to do that every week, man.
I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Bears in this one, just because they can run the ball. The Niners' defense isn't the greatest, So if Caleb can put his Lucky Charm nail polish on this week, I think he's gonna keep riding that luck.
So that's the thing, the Colts had Jonathan Stewart. He's second in the league in rushing. So
Yeah.
you would have, they played them good yesterday and put
Yeah.
up numbers. So that's why I'm kind of edging with the 49ers because they stopped Stewart.
Okay.
I'm thinking they might be able to contain the Bears this week the same way they did Stewart.
Okay. And we're going Jonathan Taylor, right?
My bad, Jonathan Taylor.
All right,
okay.
cool.
Yeah. Apologies, bro.
It's all good.
I'm thinking about the old school
I'm
stuff.
trying to save you. Oh, Jonathan Stewart on the
thinking
Panthers.
about the Carolina Panthers from back in the day. My
bad. That's why this shit is fucking straight up real. We ain't even gonna edit that shit. All right, so I think that's good on the NFL. Let's hop over to the college football playoff. We had Bama coming back. Roll Tide. They came back down 17-0. And this ended up I don't know what these fools shot up on the sidelines, but they came out, turned the lead around, ended up winning 34-24. James Madison, Tulane. You know what this reminded me of? You remember old school like Pop Warner when you had like Skyline or like VP and they would play like Santee? Like that's kind of what it reminded me of. Like those old school like too much speed on the outside. Like we're just gonna ram it down your throat. So those teams, they got in, but I hope it really opens people's eyes to like no consolation prizes no more. Like put Notre Dame in that game, put Texas in one of those games, and you're going to get better ratings, more money. But when you put a Tulane and James Madison in there, it's just like I was turning the game off by the second quarter. I had no interest in that one. And then the Miami at A&M game, 10-3, crazy win in that one. I remember we were texting a little bit about that game. How were you feeling about that game? Did you feel like it was always in kind of Miami's momentum?
Not until the second half. I thought it was up in the air up until halftime.
Okay.
Third quarter was still a little bit up in the air, but I thought Miami's run game started doing a lot better. Their defense was solid the whole game, but you kind of felt the momentum shift like probably towards the middle of the third quarter. Like, okay, Miami's gonna make the bigger plays.
A&M was just sloppy with the ball, and then they lost their last game to Texas, and then the game before that, they were down like 30 points to like South Carolina. So they didn't close out the season on like a strong note, but the talent was there. So that's why I think we kind of went with them because they're at home, they got the talent. Miami's in the ACC. So I feel like that win probably did play a little bit of an advantage in Miami's favor, I think, a little bit because they really
that as well.
Yeah.
And I felt like the quarterback was a little bit cocky coming in. Like I was watching some of his pregame interviews, he was feeling himself too much. So he got a little case of humble pie in that one, man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he'll come back next year for his NIL money and he'll be all right. So so the next games are not going to be until New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, we got Miami at Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. That's played at Dallas Stadium, I believe, AT&T Stadium. And then New Year's Day, we have Oregon at Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. I think that's Miami, if I'm correct. Bama at Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And then we got Ole Miss at Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and that's in New Orleans. So that game's there's no real fan advantage in that game because they're both in that kind of same geographic area of the South. Indiana and Bama traveling west to the Rose Bowl. That could be interesting. We did have Bama in the Rose Bowl, 3 years ago when they played Michigan. So they have a little bit of history there. They kind of have some familiarity with the stadium and how everything goes. And so Miami, Ohio State, who are you liking in this game? Miami going against the number 2 team in the nation, I guess the best defense in the nation. Didn't really play nobody, but what do you think about this game?
I think Miami's defense can do pretty good in this game as far as with their D-line. Like they have a pretty strong line of scrimmage. It's going to come down to them. I think his name's Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver for Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to how they match up on the outsides. But I think Miami should be able to control the run game, which hasn't really been the big thing for Ohio State this year anyway.
Are you going Miami?
I'm going with Miami for the upset, man. I think they could pull it off.
If any team. I wouldn't even really call it an upset if they won or if Bama were to win. I think Miami is pretty good. They played some pretty good teams. I think their thing was just more consistency and just blowing games that they should have won, like playing Florida, stuff like that. So I actually kind of like Miami in this game because they can run the ball. They got a good running back, number 4, I think was his number. I don't know his name, but he was running pretty hard against A&M. And I think Miami they're built to play in Ohio State. And then going into the Cotton Bowl, I'm sure you can get plenty of fans there too from there. So I think I'm liking Miami in this game for the upset also. If I was picking a parlay, I would definitely take Miami and whatever points they're getting. Now we got Oregon and Tech in the Orange Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, I think Oregon's getting like a point. Both kind of similar, got strong D lines. They like to run the ball. I think Oregon has the advantage at quarterback with Dante Moore. And they got some speedsters on the outside. So who are you liking in the Oregon Tech game?
I like Oregon in this one. Dante Moore, probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in college right now. Very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Texas Tech hasn't really had big games outside of BYU, and I think that might come back to haunt them. Oregon's played a couple of bigger games, so I think they'll be more built for the moment.
Yeah.
As far as competitiveness.
Right. I'm going to go Oregon in that game too, just because I'm out here. I do believe in them, and I hope Coach Lanning can get them over that next hurdle that he's building the program up now, getting the right size guys, being in the Big Ten. So it takes a little bit of NIL, a little bit of recruiting, but I feel like he's getting the players in there. He's got some beef up front. So I'm going to go with Oregon also. Bama at Indiana. I'll go first because I know Bama's your team, so I want to give you enough time to talk about your Tide. I'm sure you're proud of them. I like Bama in this one. Just coming off of that game, they showed a lot of grit. If they got to keep Simpson clean. If this guy is not clean, he's not going to be accurate. He's going to panic. I'm sure you can agree with that. But I'm going to go Bama in this one also. So give me your take.
The way Bama's O-line protected the second half last week, they were able to pop some big runs off, which they haven't done all year. I mean, they had their longest run of the season in that game. Oklahoma's defense has been solid all year, and the way they controlled the line of scrimmage second half, I think they'll be able to bring that and carry that forward against Indiana, who has a strong D-line. That's been their selling point. They were able to use it against Ohio State and control them in that game and keep it a low-tying affair.
Yep.
But I like we have a better passing game than them, even though they have the Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner.
I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer.
but Ty Simpson has thrown the rock better, has passed for more yards than him this year.
Yeah.
If we can limit the turnovers and play good on special teams and continue what the O-line did last week in that second half, I have all the faith in the world. I don't think we're going to be able to run the ball well.
Okay.
But I think as far as pass protection, that's going to be the big key in limiting turnovers. But it's not going to be an upset if we beat Indiana. It wouldn't be.
I don't think so either. It's because, the Big Ten is, it's probably SEC 1, Big Ten 2 in regards to competition and the good amount of teams in each of those conferences. But I don't know if Indiana's like a Cinderella, even though they were number 1, but they started the season off like ranked in the 20 area and then just kept winning. They do have the Oregon win, the Ohio State win, but I was never sold on Ohio State. They didn't really play anybody. So
that's the problem with the Big Ten. It's pretty much 3 teams, and then anything under that, like you're not getting any competition.
Yeah.
Michigan, I guess, would count in the top 4, but they're semi good these days. So
they got a lot of dirt to clean up over there for sure. They got a lot of shit going on over in Michigan. Your boy was wilding out there. Harbaugh was just getting size. This fool was out here and said. Anyways.
Well, like even going back to Harbaugh has been a dirty program.
That's what I'm saying. He was just stealing signs, though. This fool, he went to the next one. He was on another national. He gave that for millions. His head blew up.
That AD got to go. All this happened under his watch. He got to go just like the coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Or if he ain't, his phone's going to be tapped from now on. So let's go. So right now we're both on Miami. We both like Oregon. We both like Bama. I'm feeling confident because we only lost 1 game last week. So Ole Miss, Georgia. Who do you like in this one?
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs. I don't care for either one of them, but I see Georgia steamrolling them like they did. It wasn't a steamroll during the regular season, but it was a solid victory. They dominated the game, so I think they'll repeat it this time around as well.
Yeah, I like Georgia on this one too. I think this is a game where Lane Kiffin is going to be missed. I still feel like even though Ole Miss is in the SEC, I feel like they're kind of a finesse team in a way. Like they're not a typical SEC. Like it doesn't come off to me like a physical team. They come off to me more like a Big 12 type of team with the offense they run, and but I think this is where it ends for Ole Miss. I'm gonna go with Georgia also in that game. So we got Miami, Oregon, Bama, and Georgia. Hopefully we're right again, so we definitely look like we know what we're talking about. We can keep making some new episodes. And then let's move on to our next topic. Let's switch it up now. We're going to get into some television. Landman. Let me just do a quick rundown of what this show is. I got B. Liberty into this one. I was surprised too. I didn't think this was up your alley. You know, white rednecks on the patch.
Yeah. Country boy. Country boy, cowboy hats and shit. Yeah, it ain't my typical thing.
So the show is was as the creator is Taylor Sheridan. He also did Tulsa King, Mayor of. He has that Mayor show also on Paramount Plus with I can't think of the Mayor of Kingstown or something like that. So he's writing a lot of shows right now. He's kind of hot. He's a hot writer in Hollywood. So the show is basically it's about this oil company called MTEX. Billy Bob Thornton is like the primary figure. He's like the face of the company, even though he's not the president. He's called the landman because he's out there on the field, making sure everything's going good with the rigs, that the crews are okay, cleaning up mess after mess. Bro, the messes this guy has to clean up. Oh my God. So that's kind of the concept of the show. So you got Billy Bob. His name is Tommy Norris. LT Tommy Norris. They got his ex-wife, Allie Larder, and her name is Angela on the show. She's actually from Varsity Blues. She's the whipped cream bikini chick. Yeah.
The whipped cream. Yeah.
She's looking pretty good in the show too. She's aging well. And then we got their daughter Ainsley. They got Rebecca Falcone. She's got her little thing going on now in the last episode. So her part's getting a little more interesting. They're building up her character more. And then we got the son Cooper with the gap teeth. Good old Coop. And then we got Demi Moore, who is Cammy, and then she's definitely the bigger part in this season compared to last season. Last season they showed John Hamm was the owner of the company. He had heart issues. They never really gave a clip. Like this kind of just ended his character at the start of season 2. Like they're like, oh, he died, and it was like, what? Like we thought he was gonna get a heart transplant. Like what happened?
Yeah, like he was supposed to be stable, and in a couple weeks.
Yeah, vitals were good. Blood results were great. Like what's going on? So her part now, she was the wife of John Hamm, and she inherited this company. And then we also have Ariana. She is Cooper's love interest, his son. And then now they introduced the dad, which I love this guy. In all the like Western movies, I swear like he's in all of them. Sam Elliott's his name.
Sam Elliott.
He plays T.L. Norris. And then they added Andy Garcia, and I'm loving his character right now. He's this money launderer, cartel runner. And right now, Billy Bob's going to have to get in bed with him to keep his company alive. His son's already in bed with him with the loans that he took out. And so that's kind of the characters of the show. And this way, that's how season 2 started was, John Hamm's character passed away. Cammy inherits the company. Like episode 3 or 4, they find out that John Hamm's character inherited like $400 million of like insurance money off of an insurance claim, and they can't find it, which is wild. And then, so now they're trying to find that money. They found where that's at. But now they're having to get a loan from Andy Garcia's character, the cartel leader. He goes by Galino. And so the show is very interesting. Episode 6, it's about a 10-episode show. But I usually, when I watch a show, I can kind of figure out or have an idea where it's going to go. But I have no idea where this is going to turn or what's going to happen. What have you thought of the mid-season episode so far? Have you been impressed? Do you like it compared to season 1?
I kind of feel like they're not completing the story with some of these things.
Yeah.
For example, you got the hydrogen sulfide site.
Yeah.
You got the what was that? The wreck. The
guy that killed himself and they fucking plowed him.
Yeah.
And then Billy Bob's taking pictures like I'm about to clean this shit up.
There's been no real conclusion to those things, especially with the toxic site, other than the guy that lost his sight. I guess that lost his sight, but they haven't went into detail about that. I thought his boys were about to quit. You see him at the old conference last episode, chilling and having a good time. Yeah. So I'm like, what's going on here?
And they got a reality check when they went to that convention because they saw the technology that's going to be integrated into
coming in,
and it's like, oh, we're about to be obsolete in this bitch. Like, so they're kind of getting a reality check in what's going on in the industry also. So that's kind of new spin they put in.
Secondly, I'm not really feeling Demi's character this season, man.
You mentioned that to me.
She wanted to bring Billy Bob on to lead things because he had the expertise, and all of a sudden she knows what the hell she's talking about.
Right,
Like
right.
what the hell is going on here?
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah, right.
they were watching the horses, and Billy Bob was like, "We got more things to negotiate." She
Yeah.
was like, "We're done." So she's putting them in a deeper hole. I think Billy Bob knows what can come.
Yeah.
But you got some real insight to how she really feels about him and thinks of him as a fuck up. But that should have came out before when she wanted him to lead stuff.
Yeah.
That's how she really felt.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm up in the air about some things here, but it's still four episodes left in the season. Hopefully, it clears some of itself up.
Yeah.
The son is a dickweed.
Why? Okay, so when he got those bills, why not just go to the guy that was going to give you the loan and say, "Hey, man, we need to pay our bills"? Like, why is he gave in so quick to sell it? I would have went to the guy that I got the loan from and be like, "Yo, man, we got to pay our bills. What's good?" Like, why is he not doing that? I don't get that whole point. Like, why does he not just go to the guy that lent him the money and get the fucking money? Like, it didn't make any sense.
What's going to be interesting as well, the last 4 episodes, is how they deal this that rig in the middle of the sea.
Exactly.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens with that. But it's good to see the lawyer chick got a love interest because she needed some.
She found the only Australian guy in Texas. Like, what the fuck? The only Australian in Texas, and you banged him and worked with him. How the hell? What are the odds of that? But yeah, she was wound up a little bit. She's definitely wound up. But she's a boss. Hey, but she knows her shit, though. She'll fucking talk some shit. Like she's definitely like a rattler out there. And then I like how they're introducing kind of more of Billy Bob's backstory with the dad now and kind of how his upbringing was. So that's kind of cool. How
the mom and all that. Yeah. The whole mother funeral episode. That was pretty cool.
Dude.
It was slow as hell, but I mean, like you said, it gave a good background to how he is.
Yeah.
And, it's good to see him and his father coming along with the wife pushing it. Like, we're taking him out of the home. So I like seeing that.
Yeah, and the wife's like, she's wild, but she be doing some cool shit. Like when they have the pirate party, like that shit was pretty tight. I like that. That shit was wild. I'm like, you went all out, girl. Good for you. So that's the show Landman. That's on Paramount Plus. Did you want to add anything else before we move on to our top 5 Christmas movies?
No, it makes sense of why I like the show, though, because it's written by the guy that writes Tulsa King. So,
yeah, and he's bringing out Nola Kings. Yeah, and then he's probably going to do Nola Kings, I would guess, too, or be a part of that.
Yeah, with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Samuel on doing 10 episodes of him, I'll take that all day. So that's awesome. All right, let's do our top 5 Christmas movies with the holidays coming up. I reached out to B Liberty. I didn't know how he was going to take this, being from the hood and everything. Like, oh, man, what the fuck is this fool talking about? So I was like, let's do some top 5 Christmas movies. We'll do 5 to 1. We'll go back and forth. So I'll do 5, you go, and we'll just share our insight on that one. I'm going to go Tim Allen and the Santa Claus as my number 5 Christmas movie. What would be your number 5 Christmas movie, B Liberty?
Number 5 for me is going to be National Lampoon's Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot. All right, and then who do you got for number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to go with one that's probably not suspected by anyone, but Die Hard.
No!
Yes, it is a Christmas movie.
No, it is a Christmas movie. We're going to get to that. Don't worry. I got So that's number 4. I'm going to go, my boy Macaulay Culkin. I'm going to go Home Alone. Who do you have at number 3?
That was actually going to be my next one, Home Alone.
Okay.
Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, and then
and plus it's a series, so you got the 1 and the 2. So I mean, you can't go wrong with them.
Okay, and then my number 3, I'm gonna go what you had at 5 at National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase in his prime, it was great. The dude with the RV, his brother-in-law or cousin, I believe, that was pretty classic. So I like that one. And then who do you got at number 2 for your top 5 Christmas movies?
Billy Bob Thornton and Bad Santa.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That is a good one. Vulgar language, some great jokes. They had the little dude in there from Friday. That was a good
John
one.
Ritter in John Ritter's last role.
Yeah, exactly.
Bernie Mac, rest in peace.
Yeah,
a good cast.
Mac was a good one. Yeah, Mac was a good one. For my second one, I'm gonna go back to Home Alone. I'm gonna take the sequel, Home Alone 2. But now I wish I kind of did some better research because I probably would have went with Bad Santa. So you got me on that one for sure. And then what's your number 1 top 5 Christmas movie, B Liberty?
Man, they do a marathon of it every year. Christmas Story.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Whooping the bully's ass. I can't get enough of that.
I'm glad we didn't have Elf on ours because I cannot stand that one. A lot of people like Elf. I'm not an Elf guy. I don't like that one.
No.
Yeah. So my number one was Die Hard. So I went Die Hard as my number one. That's why I was happy you put that on there because I do consider it a Christmas movie for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, Nakatomi Towers all day. Christmas Day, I'm watching it. So that's our show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do you want to say anything on anything out here, Biggie, before we start the holiday?
Man, I just want to wish everyone a safe and happy holidays. Stay safe out there. No drinking and driving. Eat some good food and enjoy time with your loved ones because that's what it's really about. Don't even trip about the gifts. Just worry about your family. I mean, we both got people that we're losing out here.
Yep.
So cherish these moments, man. Cherish your moments with your family.
I agree. I agree to everything on that. And then to add on top, and then just to our loved ones that are no longer here, we miss everybody that's passed. And happy holidays. I hope everyone has a safe one. I'm liking this feel right now. I'm liking the vibe. Hopefully we come back with episode 2 of Juiced Up the Hard Way. I think we got a good product going right now. So that's it for tonight. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy the football games. Enjoy your holiday. Peace out. Be liberty. Good looking out, man.
Deuces.